Alrighty, welcome to the next session. And in this session, we are going to create a glass. So this part is going to be part one. We're going to do multiple sessions where we're going to create the glass. The next one, we're going to put water in it. Next one, we're going to drop something in it so it does a splash. So stay focused and follow this series so you can be amazed with what you can do with Maya 2022. So let's get started. So there's different ways of creating a glass. I mean, think of a glass as a circle, not a sphere, but something round when you're looking at it from the top. But when you look at it from the side, it's like rectangular. Well, that's a cylinder. Okay, it's a cylinder. Now, keep in mind, again, there's different ways of creating this. So I'm just going to create one a specific way. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I have this cylinder, and I'm going to go into my polycylinder one. Now, this session, I'm not going to talk about asset management, naming products yet. They'll be in the later sessions down the road. Now, in this one, I'm going to create my subdivision axes, set it to 50, kind of make it round. Some other folks wouldn't do that. They would create less because the more faces that you have, the bigger the size of the file. Okay, but me, I just want to do this just to kind of get a good idea of what this kind of will look like. And I'm shrinking up a little bit. Now, the reason why I'm shrinking up is kind of the base of your glass, And let me see, I'm gonna put a subdivision cap on it. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stretch this out. Now, some people would use the insert edge loop tool, but we'll use that in later in this session. So check this out. So I got this, I lowered it, I created a nice little subdivision cap. Okay, and I'm not going to mess around with the subdivision's height. No, I'm not going to do that yet, because if I do, unnecessary. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go with the edge loop, zoom in, and I'm going to select this edge here. Oops, did I do that? Yep, there you go. And then I'm going to stretch it out. Okay, so I got my base here. And what I'm doing is I also did it on the other side. All right, I'm not going to do the other side yet, but I'm going to raise this up. So I'm going to go in face mode. All right, so I'm in face mode. Here we go. And I'm going to extrude, Control E. And I'm going to raise it up. Now, my students were like, whoa, that's so much easier. And put little thing into it to make it look like it gets wider. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. All right, and I'll go edge mode here, stretch this out. This could be my base. Oops. And then I'll go into face mode. When I go into face mode, this will be my base. You know, like the base that you see in reality, like to make sure your cup stays the way it is supposed to be, so it doesn't tip over. So I'll do a Control E, stretch this out a little bit. All right, then I'm gonna go into my edge loop. Insert edge loop, and what this does is that I'm creating little edges. So when I use my smooth tool, okay, it knows where to kind of blend things out. All right, so like this will be square and this will blend in. It's almost like a bevel. And I'll do it here. Now I don't want this to bevel. I want this to stay flat. So bevel there, bevel there, bevel there. That's pretty good. All right. And I'll do a bevel at the top, because I want to round this up. There you go. And here's, well, this will be rounded at the top, not completely flat. And I'll put one in the middle, like one here, one here. Reason why, because when I smooth this out, and I'll hit Q to exit my edge loop tool. Reason why is because when I smooth this out, I don't want it to like stretch at the middle. It's gonna go nuts. So check this out. So I'm not gonna assign any color yet. So I'm gonna go to mesh, right, smooth. So you can see what I mean. Like right here, it's stretched out. Like I don't want that. Like it really messes up. But you can see the bottom is pretty good. The top's not bad. Okay, but I need to fix this. Okay, so I need to fix this. So what I'll do is, okay, edge loop. And I'll shrink this up. Yeah, it's one of those weird things that, again, it doesn't happen when you create the glass a certain way. So there's my glass. All right. Now, if you want to add some other thing to it, like specific style, you can see where it's. You can see where it is right now. So if I grab the top, you smooth, and you stretch it out, you can see how it bends, see what it does. So you can see where it curves. But what's amazing is how glasses are really made. All right. So anyway, I got this. I got this going, and remember, it's smoothed out. Okay, got my floor, and then I'm going to assign a color to it. So assign new material, and there's my Arnold AiStandard surface. And what I'm going to do is use my presets, and there it is, glass. That's selected. So now it's already set to glass. Okay, I already set this up. So now some people may, when they look at this, they'll say, hey, I don't see my glass. It's because you don't have the texture option on. Okay, when you do, you'll see it. And if you want to see it in wireframe, so just want to give you a heads up, or do you want to see both? Okay, so I like to see both every once in a while. Now, let's go into Arnold render preview. Okay, so I got my Arnold render preview up. So what I'm going to do is we're actually going to see what this will look like. Now, you don't see anything because we don't have any light in. So I'll add my area light. And you can see, ooh, it's coming up. All right. And I'll move this out. Now, what I always try to tell my students is for light to really show, it has to reflect off something. Now, remember, this is glass, so light's going to go right through it. Okay, it's like transmission. It's going to go right through it. So no matter how big, I'll stretch this out a little bit. So how big or how intense your light is, okay, and I'll increase my exposure just a little bit, not too much. Okay, I'll put this to 10. Okay, you'll get more of effect if you have some type of surface. So let's go to poly, and I'll create a floor. See how it automatically starts coming up, and I'll add Arnold AiStandard surface, and go to my presets, and I'll use ceramic. Okay, so you can see where it's nice off the floor, but do the extra thing. I'll do a control duplicate and duplicate the floor to kind of create like a wall. All right. Okay. So when I look at this, all right, then I go back to my lighting. Careful with the exposure. And And there is your glass. There's your glass. So here again, all we did was take a cylinder. Oh, we flattened it a little bit, put some little texture into it. Change the caps by stretching it out, create an edge. Extruded the faces up. Used our insert edge loop tool to create some boundaries, some lines. So when we use the smooth tool, it'll round things out. So it looks pretty cool. So and you can see the design. Okay, and if you remember, this all stretched out, and we brought it in, so you can see the design of the glass, and you can see underneath it. So pretty much, this is how you create a glass using Maya 2022 and using Arnold AiStandard service, using the presets for glass, and it makes your workflow real fast and really quick and easy to go with. So in the next session, we're going to put water. And keep in mind, water inside the glass, and then the session after that, we're going to drop something in the water, and hopefully the session after that, the glass will tip over. So anyway, thank you for watching this video, and please subscribe and like, and do not hesitate to give any more suggestions, because like I said, I'm going to try to come up with these tutorial videos twice a week or once a week for you to enjoy. But again, Maya 2022 for beginners.